Bismillah wa alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Peace and blessings to everybody tuned in. If I were to tell you that in the beginning there was a big bang, amidst a massive explosion from a particle smaller than an atom came a single-celled organism. Organisms that through a unexplainable, very complex transformation became complex organisms that make up everything in existence. That everything in creation is the result of a very extraordinary sequence of random accidents, complex accidents, that through chaos came to be so much beauty with a precise structure or design. Would you believe it?
The question for a scientist, particularly for physicists and biologists who are interested in the fundamentals of life, is how? How was it? How did it come to be that Earth is populated by so many wonderfully diverse organisms? And from a physicist's perspective, you want to go back all the way to the beginning. So this is a picture of the origin and evolution of the universe as we know it now. Now, we made a spectacularly precise measurement of the age of the universe quite recently, actually. The current number is 13.75 billion years old. So the picture is that 13.75 billion years ago, the universe began. Why? We don't know. We don't know the answer to questions such as what happened before the Big Bang. I get asked that a lot. The answer is we don't know. It's out there. It's current research. But we do know that the universe was extremely hot and extremely dense and extremely small 13.75 billion years ago. In fact, everything we can see in the universe today, we think at some point was compressed into something, and in fact probably smaller than an atom. So it's a tremendous thought. But what we know is the universe expanded and cooled ever since. And as it cooled, complex things began to, well, initially crystallize out. But it's a strange thought that we know fairly well at the moment, is just how precisely we understand how things began to crystallize out.
Centuries of time and research have been spent and sought after to prove just that. Research that leaves many holes and a plethora of unexplainable phenomena. Yet when it comes to the existence of God, a omnipotent, benevolent creator, it is always asked, where is the proof? Where is the evidence? How do you know? How can you say with certainty that there is a God? Maybe the question that is even more compelling is, how can you say with certainty that an omnipotent creator doesn't exist?
In physical cosmology, the matter-antimatter asymmetry problem is the observed imbalance of baryonic matter, which is matter experienced in everyday life, and antibaryonic matter in the observable universe. Neither the standard model of particle physics nor the theory of general relativity provides a known explanation for this asymmetry, and it is a natural assumption that the universe is neutral with all conserved charges. The Big Bang should have produced equal amounts of matter and antimatter. Since this does not seem to have been the case, it is likely some physical laws must have acted differently or did not exist for matter and antimatter. But we still don't know the answer. Several hypotheses have been put forth to explain the imbalance of matter and antimatter that resulted in baryogenesis, but there is yet no consensus theory to explain this phenomenon. As remarked in a research paper, the origin of matter remains one of the great mysteries in physics.
Maybe science should not be out to provide proof that evolution happened without a creator. Maybe the science world would have a much more profound understanding if it was out to prove how everything came to be as a result of a creator. Very few people in science accept that there is a God who has indeed created everything. Interestingly enough, most atheists find it easier to believe that aliens are responsible for what is unexplainable than to believe in God. The truth is that when you really reflect and use logic and reason, you will find that there is only one surefire possibility: God. If you consider that since the expansion of the universe, a chaotic beginning, remarkably everything has a perfect working order, a specific function or purpose, you should find it is easy to arrive at the conclusion that there is indeed a creator. Every galaxy or body of stars, planets, moons are in a perfect synchronized orbit. The Earth and every planet in our galaxy orbits perfectly around the sun. When there is an eclipse, the moon perfectly blocks out that sun. The Earth is fixed at the exact distance from the sun for our planet to sustain life. Our atmosphere acts as a blanket protecting the Earth from the freezing cold of space. There is the perfect mixture creating oxygen for every living organism to sustain life. Sun and rain provide fundamental elements alone to produce agriculture and provide for every living being. Animals have their own governed instinctive functions and ability to migrate to survive. As humans, we have free will, the ability to adapt and use logic and reason to navigate through our daily lives. Every living thing has a specific working order. Just about every living organism has the ability to heal or regenerate itself. Why is it harder to believe that an omnipotent, benevolent creator knows and controls all things than it is to believe that a series of unexplainable events came to be on its own and is operating on its own natural working order? Looking at the human body alone, we can see many complex functions that occur naturally without thinking or being conscious of them. The heart beats on its own. The lungs breathe on their own. The liver performs a chemical analysis every second on its own to rid the body of infection, performing hundreds of vital functions. Though science can explain many a process that take place, it is left far too often asking how or why.
There is no known objects accounting for most of the effect of gravity in the universe. Something is making stuff move that is not anything we have ever touched.
الله الذي رفع السماوات بغير عمد ترونها ثم استوى على العرش وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى يدبر الأمر يفصل الآيات لعلكم بلقاء ربكم توقنون